Hello and welcome to the Franchise Marketing Show. The video or the podcast you're about to watch or listen to was recorded at the British and International Franchise Exhibition at Olympia. It was a very busy event, so there was a little bit of background noise, so it wasn't filmed in a recording studio or anything like that, but it is a really interesting conversation. Hope you enjoy it.
Hiya and Will, welcome to the Franchise Marketing Show. We are live from the British and International Franchise Exhibition.
Perfect.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Yeah, it's quite mild outside, but it's nice to be here and see some familiar faces. So yeah, it's good.
It's good.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
I love doing this kind of thing, so I'm in my element right now, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
So Will, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, who are you? What is it that you're a part of?
So I'm part of Subway, the Subway franchise. So I've a multi-unit franchise owner in Bath. I've been a owner since 2016 and developed my stores in Bath City Centre. Subway, as everyone knows, a great brand, lovely food, and so yeah.
Okay, and how many units do you own?
So I own 3 in Bath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think I've eaten at one of them.
Oh, have you? Which one?
I can't remember. I went to Bath last year and it was
Good customer service?
Very good.
Yeah. Great.
It had everything I wanted, including the gluten-free bread.
Amazing.
So I was happy.
Great.
It's good. Okay, so Will, tell me, so 2016, you don't look that old, so how did you first hear about franchising?
So I actually first heard about franchising when a neighbour of my parents was a McDonald's franchisee.
Okay.
And had heard a bit about it there, and then went into my business A level and had heard more about it, franchising as a business in that lesson. And then it sort of sparked an interest, so I went back to my neighbour and said, could I come and do some work shadowing? So I went to and spent a day following him, shadowing him, and then went off to university, did agricultural business management, and came back into my second year. At the time I was wondering what to do with my career going forward, and Subway had always sprung to mind, always been an avid Subway supporter through sixth form, and got in touch with a development agent within Bristol, and straight out of university went into owning my first shop. So it's been it was a real roller coaster, but it's been really fun, and Subway as a brand is great. So
It is, definitely. And obviously having that neighbour to kind of learn from as well.
He's been really good. We don't speak lots, but when I do speak to him, he's really been very influential to me as a person, and it's where it sparked it for me, to be honest.
Excellent, that's really good.
Yeah.
So, did you enter into franchising with having in mind that idea of having multiple units?
Yeah, completely. I always wanted multiple. Franchising as a model allows for you to have multiple sites, so it was always on my mind that I didn't just want to have one location. It was always going to be a multiple unit, multiple site operation for me. Yeah.
How did you go about planning the speed in which you were going to develop your brand?
So surrounding yourself with like-minded people, I made really good connections with my bank, and they obviously are the guys that help you with everything financial, so ensuring that I had those people beside me to enable me to grow quite quickly. Obviously I grew pre-COVID, and then COVID came, so that was my slight halt with the growth development side. But just having a really good connection with my bank was what enabled me to grow. I had my first location in 2016, and then within 6 months I was planning my second, which was a new build store. So
that's really quick.
It was. But like I say, it's once I had everything set up, I knew the business, I had got myself familiar with it, I got itchy feet, and an opportunity came along, and I just dived straight into it. So yeah.
What advice would you give to a franchisee who is looking to expand their portfolio?
The biggest thing for me is due diligence. Make sure you do your due diligence on the area. There's lots of other brands out there that could be doing similar to you. Subway's always been quite unique in that it's create your own, and you can build the sandwich to how you want it. So there's not been huge competitors in the market space. But for other franchises, there's other burger chains out there that might be doing something similar to you. So just really survey the area, go and look at your competitors, make sure that you're checking how they're doing, and just really get to know the local area of where you're proposing to put a business.
Will, what's been the biggest lesson that you've learned from hiring within your own business?
So hiring is the biggest thing within a company, making sure you've got the right people. A big thing for me was when I first started, you'd get an application come through, you'd get them in, you'd get to know them quite quickly, and some of those backfired, so I completely changed the way I went about hiring, did a lot more due diligence, references, called up other businesses they've been with before, really getting into grips with their CV and who they are as a person. And then I always do my own interviews now, so I interview every staff member that's coming in. I like to ensure that I get to know them as a person as well as I can do before getting them in for a trial shift. Because there's a few things you get to pick up on as soon as they walk through the door. Do they arrive on time? Are they well presented? And just that general person that you get to see. So yeah, I'm the person that does the interviews within my business, because ultimately they're working for my company and representing me as a person.
Yeah, so it's important for you to have that first-hand experience of, and also for them as well to see you as the owner of the business.
And also I'm very hands-on. I'm working in my business myself, so I want to work with people that share similar passion and goals, and they've got to like me and I've got to like them as well, and that's just how it is. We spend more time with each other than we do our families at home, so it's got to work, and that relationship for me is crucial. So hence why I interview, to make sure that we're the right fit for those people.
That's good. That's a really good bit of advice for people.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people who are considering managing multiple units?
Do your due diligence. I like to think of, if you're branching out from doing one to setting up a second, the first one for me has to be a really well-oiled machine. It has to be set up and ready to leave for a short period of time whilst you focus your energy on your second or third. It has to be operationally 100% sound, and you have to feel that, like I say, you can leave that unit to stand without your input for a period of time. You don't want to be leaving something and then it fall to pieces slightly, because you're not there as much as you'd like to be. So invest in good people, and that's one of my big points. I've got a great group of staff that I've had, some of them that have been with me since I started my business back in 2016.
That's really good.
So got some long-standing members of staff that I know that I can trust 99%. So it's a big thing for me. But my biggest thing is just make sure that you can leave that business for a period of time for you to then go and establish your second site or third or fourth or fifth. So just invest in the people.
And obviously having 3 different branches, you can't be in all 3 at the same time. So What does your average day look like? How do you kind of manage?
Yeah, it's funny. Someone asked me this question the other day, and it's really random. Sometimes you wake up and think you're going to have a really straightforward day, and then something changes. But as a business owner, you've just got to learn to adapt and constantly change within your business. But yeah, general day to day, I'm a big CrossFitter, so go and do CrossFit in the morning, and then get into Bath. I like to spend time within each store throughout the day, different day parts, get to see different people. I have certain staff that only work in the evenings, so I don't necessarily get to see them all the time, so spend a bit of time in the evening or during lunchtime. But then that changes. I've got 55 staff now that I deal with, so it's making sure that I'm keeping an eye on everyone. We've got the things to do, payroll and wages, and then I'm really big into my local marketing, so I have really good partnerships with Bath University.
Okay.
So yeah, just building on partnerships and just integrating myself within the local community, which I think is key when you're investing money into the city.
Yeah.
To build on that community.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because you are investing into the local community, aren't you?
Yeah. And ultimately the customers are the people that are in your shop, so you want to get to know them. I love my customers, and just to spend some time with them is great as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Will, what are some common mistakes that franchisees make when they've established a multi-site portfolio?
I think it goes back to my first point. If you haven't invested to enable yourself to withdraw yourself from your first site, my first location was like my baby, and I spent a lot of time in there working evenings, mornings, night shifts, and you've got to ensure that you can leave that location, like I said before, because if you can't, then it can become really difficult to leave that location alone. So it goes back to my original point that you need to invest time into those people to ensure that you can leave that site to run on its own without your input 100% of the time. So I'd say that for mistakes that could be made, that could definitely be one of them for sure. And also not necessarily doing the right amount of due diligence in the area. Ultimately, I'm part of a big family, the Subway family, so ensuring that you ask the franchisor. That's a big part of being in a franchise business, that you have them to ask questions to. Is this the right location for me to build in? Do we feel comfortable that we're going to have the right amount of traffic into that location? So lean on them a bit as well. Don't be scared to ask them questions and just reach out, because ultimately they're there to help. So yeah, that's a really big thing for me. Just ask questions. There's lots of people in this big wide network of franchising that are here to help and ensure that you're going to be successful in whatever you do. So yeah, big thing, just ask questions and ask lots of them.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your insight.
No problem.
Now that we've done those, I'm going to go into some of the other questions.
Yeah.
Are you feeling all right?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Fine.
You did really well with those, so it's fine. So, well, you just mentioned about the support of the franchisor and being able to lean on them. How would you describe your relationship with your franchisor?
I have a really good relationship with the franchisor. I'm part of 2 working groups. I sit alongside 7 other franchisees in a national marketing board that we meet once a quarter, and we're speaking a lot more in between those times. So I have a really good relationship with Subway head office, and then I also work as part of a profitability group for franchisees as well. So my relationship with Subway is great, and then also we have a local development agent that sits within our region, and there again I have a great relationship with them as well. Got obviously all of their numbers, email addresses, so it's just reach out whenever there's questions to be asked or things that I'm not not sure on, they're always there. It is a big family, so.
Yeah, it sounds like it from what you're saying. And you mentioned as well about the franchise industry, how there's lots of like other people who would support. How much involvement do you have in the wider franchising community?
These events that we're here today, sat in Olympia, these are great, these events. I've met lots of different people through these types of events. You've got banking networks that you can speak to people in. It's a really good industry to be in, franchising, and I absolutely love it. I think it's not just about your relationship with your franchisor, it's a relationship with like-minded people that are in different franchise businesses, and being able to speak and learn and provide information to other people. So yeah, I've got really good relationships with the wider network, and one thing I'd say to any franchisee or even franchisor that's starting up maybe to look to expand is just go to these events that are being held today, because you can learn so much. There's so many interesting talks that are here today that you can learn information from and just share business ideas or learn from them. So yeah, definitely come and be part of this, even if it's not necessarily what you want to be doing. I would definitely advise coming 100%.
Yeah, it's really good from a networking perspective as well, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
and if you were going to expand your portfolio and maybe look at other franchises, are there any sectors or anything that would like interest you alongside Subway?
I really like the QSR business model that I'm in now. Convenience is a sector that would be of interest to me, but then also the gym space. I really like the fitness aspect, and there's some really good fitness brands out there that are coming through. So I haven't done too much digging into other brands, but they would be my ones to look for.
Yeah, so you could have like a gym and then a Subway in it as well.
Gym, Subway,
healthy eating, healthy life.
A convenience store as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that'd be like a whole little empire, the Will's empire.
Yeah, definitely.
And my final question: what plans do you have personally for your future?
So, having been in the back of COVID and Brexit and the Ukrainian war, the last sort of 2-3 years have seemed quite doomy and gloomy, but I do think 2024 is a really good year for everyone. I think that there's a lot of stability coming, and I'm just looking for new areas to grow into now and just really push forward with my journey. It's really exciting. I'm genuinely really excited for 24 and the different things we can, or anyone can go into. There's a lot of really good brands out there that are obviously here today as well.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm excited. 2024 is a good year.
Excellent. You've done a lot since leaving uni, and it's really interesting to hear. And I know I've got tons more questions, and I know other people will have, but I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, thanks
so you can
very
do
much. Really nice to meet you, Steph.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for your time, Will. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.